Tulsa wide receiver Keevan Lucas missed all but 4 games in the 2015 season with an injury. Having to sit out for his junior season wasn't easy, but it's Keevan's attitude and outlook on life that makes him stick out from the rest. While being between the lines wasn't an option, he used that time to contribute and better himself the only way he knew how.
That was kind of hard, you know, because the first part of my surgery and after surgery and stuff like that, I was in a straight brace, so I couldn't move or really couldn't get around like that. So on home games, I would watch from the press box, you know, and be able with the headset. Coach would let me have the headset on, and I would watch from the press box. But on away games, you know, I would just, you know, I wouldn't go. I would watch from TV. Really, sometimes I would go to practice, but most of the times I wouldn't because it was too much for me to be outside and practice and stuff like that. So it was pretty rough at first trying to stay around the team. But towards the end of the season, Tulane was the first time I got to travel with the team again. And so that was cool to get back on the field and be able to move around and, you know, kind of uplift guys. And then the bowl game was pretty good to get back and be a part of the team. But throughout, in the middle of the season, it was pretty rough to, you know, it was them dark times, you know, where you feel like, dang, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I mean, we used him in a lot of different areas. You know, I put those guys actually in my office up there, and I put a headset on them so they could stay involved in what was going on in the games. They're at practice. They're helping the young guys in the film room and on the practice field. So those guys were just as valuable to us, just weren't being able to do it on the field. But we needed their leadership still, and those guys really stepped up and stayed locked in and tuned in to what our football team really needed.
For those who know Keevan Lucas, they know that this wasn't the first time in life that he's had to face serious adversity. Just a teenager in high school, Lucas lost his mother and grandmother in the same week. But it's his resiliency that has gotten him to this point. And this was just another obstacle Lucas knew he had to overcome.
To be honest, I mean, really, it's kind of been like a roller coaster, you could say. I've had my ups and downs, you know, throughout my life, as far as being a freshman in high school, losing my mother and grandmother in the same week, and then senior year getting hurt, and then last season getting hurt again. You know, it's just been kind of the cards that I was dealt, you know, but really I never would take it back, and I wouldn't complain about it because I know that God chose me, really. And to be honest, experiencing that at a young age when I was 14 years old, you know, and now that, you know, when I got hurt last year, I was 20, so it's like, it's a different mind frame, you know. I was able to cope with it better, you know, and just having, you know, my friends and stuff around me was kind of, you know, keeping me up. But really, when I was able to get back to church and really just kind of get back in the Word again, that's kind of what, you know, uplifted my spirits and kept me going really throughout this whole process. So
he's not afraid to go over the middle one bit. He's bigger than most linebackers anyway. He'll go deep. He'll catch it short and take it deep. He's a big play guy. He's the guy you want the ball in his hands. And as a person, man, he's one of the nicest guys I know. If you know his backstory, he's gone through a lot more than most people have to go through in one lifetime, and he's gone through it. He's 21 years old. So he's an incredible person to look up to and also to model yourself after.
While Lucas is without question one of the best receivers to ever play at the University of Tulsa, his leadership and most importantly his smile may just be what's remembered the most.
We're just friends. I mean, really, when you talk about it, all relationships are about communication, and that's no different on the football field. We see something we like, we'll talk about it. We see something we don't like, we'll talk about it. And I think that really shows up when you see him going up and make those big plays, spectacular catches.
It's still the same guy. You know, he's got a great smile. He's always got a positive attitude, and he is relentless in the way he works. That part of Keevan will never change, no matter if it's on the football field or in life. With that being said, the year started off so well for him, and for the injury to happen so early in the season, pretty devastating to him. But fought through all of that and understanding what the ultimate goal is, and he has been tremendous all the way through it.
I'm pretty close on the all-time, you know, career list, and I mean, that's kind of my aspirations, is to come back and finish what I started, and, you know, and then secondly, man, get a ring. You know, I'm kind of like LeBron, man. I'm searching for that ring, you know, and so, I mean, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to try to take my team and lead my team to a conference championship and try to get a ring. So that's our goal. So
So far this season, Keevan Lucas has racked up over 100 receiving yards in 4 games and overall has had 60 receptions for 845 yards and 9 touchdowns. As Tulsa prepares for what is without question its most important game so far this season, Lucas will need to bring his A game against Navy. The first place position is up for grabs between these two teams on Saturday.